Come from the battle, but I'm skydiving in. Got the squad by my side, let the games begin. Landing tilted towers, looting up quick. Legendary scar, yeah, I'm ready for the flick. Building high, cranking 90s to the sky. Enemies approaching, but they ain't gonna fly. Storms closing in, but we ain't gonna hide. Victory Royale, yeah, we taking it with pride. Fortnite, Fortnite, we live in that dream. Building up walls, taking down the whole team. Victory Royale, that's the ultimate scheme. Fortnite, Fortnite, we reign supreme. Campfires lit, healing up the crew. Watching out for snipers, know what they gonna do. Chugging down a potion, shields back to full scope. In locked on, yeah, I'm keeping it cool.
And it's another Thursday night, and this, of course, means that it's time for a road trip after hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, and with me each and every week, none other than the Holla Famer, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
First thing I want to say is who is doing the song, the rap song that we come on with?
I have no clue. It is it's one of those free. No, it's one of those free songs we can use and use for the show.
So so it sounds good, so you didn't care who it was.
Well, no, because they'll end up getting their rights fees when they'll claim all the monetization on that.
So this sounds good. I don't give a damn whose name it is, who's singing it, but I like it.
Yeah, I did too. You know, I think I said this last week that I found this place where you can use songs, that are not going to get us in trouble. And there's songs that nobody else has ever heard. So I go through them and I'm like, man, I like the beat. I like the sound of the song. That one right there, Teddy, I didn't realize this until one of my grandkids said, hey, he's talking about Fortnite, which is a game or something that people play. I know nothing about Fortnite. I'm just going to be completely honest. But I know it's a big deal.
Well, it had a good beat. I was giving it a little Teddy Long. I like it.
Now, the other part of it, the second part was a spinoff of the upcoming Stranger Things new season that's going to be starting up on Netflix. I believe it's within a couple of weeks here. Teddy, have you ever seen the show Stranger Things?
No.
Oh, man, let me tell you something. You'll get hooked on that really quick. It's not a show that I expected I would enjoy, but I watched the very first one of the season one. I was like, okay, I'll watch it one more time, give it a little bit more of a chance. Man, I've been hooked ever since. It's a great show. It's kind of a sci-fi, alternate universe kind of thing. But if you're into those types of shows, it's really a fantastic show. It's Stranger Things. I think it's season 5 starts this month. And then I think they're going to end up having the finale of that show actually in theaters, where you're going to watch it on Netflix, but then when it's time for the big finale, there's a 2-hour movie that you'll be able to go to at the theater and watch it there on the big screen. That was just kind of smart, Teddy. Think about that. Movie theaters really don't do a whole lot of business anymore, so you got to create an event to draw people back into the theater. That's not a bad idea to go, show all these episodes on Netflix, get everybody hyped up to see the finale, and you got to go to the theater and see it on the big screen, which means that the special effects, everything will be a lot better if you're in that big screen area. Don't you think?
Okay, are you through promoting Stranger Things?
I am. I'm just thinking about it, but man, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about it as we're talking about it. So as I'm talking about it, Teddy, look, this week I noticed that Trish Stratus made the news again during a recent Pod Meets World podcast. Trish Stratus revealed that she was once asked to do a storyline where she would have to kiss another woman. Trish wasn't comfortable with it and she declined. And she said she was stripped of her championship immediately thereafter. Does that surprise you at all? I know she talked about something like this on our show one time where she mentioned this, but we didn't really dig into it. Did you know about all this that when it went down?
I remember vaguely something went like that or something. She was asked to do something, but I thought it was somewhere she was supposed to kiss Vince or something.
No, she says it was where she had to kiss another woman. And it's just like, that just wasn't her character. She said her character wouldn't have done that.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Our business is a movie.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation, Teddy, where they come up to you and said, "Hey, look, we want you to do this," and you go, "Oh, I'm not doing that."
Oh, I couldn't say that.
Well, you could if you really wanted to, but I'm assuming there never came.
If I'd have said that, I wouldn't have to worry no more. I wouldn't be asked to do nothing else.
That's very true. Very true. Let's see.
I'll tell you something they did one time, and I knew this was a test, but you got to know when it's happening to you. They wanted Cena to FU me for what? You know what I mean? I'm the GM, so what do you know what I mean? But that's all. You're always being tested. So see, a lot of guys weren't smart. They didn't know when they were being tested. So I let them know. I don't care what you do. This is entertainment. I know what it is.
Now, did he do that to you? Did you get the FU?
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening. So what happened leading up to that FU?
I don't remember. It was just something he was wanting to do, and I wouldn't let him do it or something. So he was so mad at everybody till he's gonna FU the GM.
Now, during this time, you're not really a physical guy in the ring, much like you were in the early days.
Well, they can't. You can't worry about that.
Well, I know, but I'm just wondering: did he come up to you and say, "Teddy, I'm going to do this FU now"? This move, did he want to go over it with you? Did he explain how it was going to go, or did he just say, "I'll handle it. You just stand there"?
They told me. He says they want me to FU you tonight. He says when we get in the ring, just follow my lead.
Okay, so you just feed to him and he handled the rest.
Right.
Yeah. So what's going through your mind? This is the first time you're up on his shoulders. You're about to go.
Well, nothing really. I don't. When I'm doing stuff like that, I didn't even think about it. Didn't even cross my mind. That's the best thing to do is not think about that. Think about how I can get it over, or think about how good I can sell it. Or I don't want to oversell. You know what I mean? I don't want to kill it. I want to make sure when I do what that does happen, I sell. People believe. Yep. That's my job. So that's what I was doing. My job. I wasn't worried about all that other stuff. But they didn't know I knew how to do my job.
So yeah, that bump didn't worry you at all. You knew that bump was going to be nothing.
Well, like I said, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, we just okay.
And then you gonna do what you gonna do.
Hey, look, that happened. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I was working a show. Actually, I wasn't working the show. I was in the audience of a independent show that took place in Warner Robins, Georgia. Sarge, who watches the show from time to time, he actually was running the show, if I'm not mistaken. And Glacier was on the show as well. And they saw me in the audience. They asked me if I wanted to work part of the show as a lumberjack. And part of the show, I had to get into the ring. And they tell me now that Scott Norton is going to come in and he's going to do whatever he does to me. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, no problem at all. He said, Teddy, it's like you say, but brother, you just go with it. That's all you can do. So,
yeah.
Oh man, but it was a blast too. That was the first time I got to face off with Bobby Eaton. He was a guy I grew up watching. For those of you who watch wrestling and you have your favorites, Bobby Eaton, I think everybody loved Bobby Eaton. It was just something about him. He was just such a nice guy.
I swear, you talking about that. I was talking to the niece about Bobby Eaton. I swear, man, maybe a week ago, I was telling her about how he loved that rum raisin Haagen-Dazs, rum raisin ice
I don't
cream.
know. Yeah.
And he's the one that turned me on to it. And I was telling him about Bobby. He's such a sweetheart, and
He is.
he's scared of his own shadow.
Yeah, and he gave me an opportunity of something I'll never forget, because when I was doing the lumberjack match, I was faced off with Bobby. I was on the face side, he was on the heel side, and we happened to be the ones that were right next to one another. And
Yeah.
they came out and we faced off, and Bobby sold that so well. Man, I will never forget just the look on his face, like he was about to get killed by me or something, just what he was willing to do for somebody he had never met at that point
Now,
ever in
now,
his life.
now you understand how I learned. See, I work with people like that.
Yep. Good
And
people.
I worked with people like that didn't mind helping me and telling me, what was right and what was wrong. A lot of people didn't know that.
Yep.
But see, I learned way back when. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, let's see. We also have Zach in here. I always love this about you, Zach. You always tell us what's happening this week or this month, as far as, special days. And today, Teddy, is World Kindness Day and National Gratitude Month.
Well, what can you be kind with me, and what kind of gratitude can I get from you, Zach?
Now, see that, boy, I'm not even going to carry that any further. I'm afraid of where that might go. All right, let's see. Jake Bobo. Hey guys. Hey, Jake. We were just talking about this a while ago. Didn't you just listen to the Stranger Things thing? Yeah, he likes Stranger Things as well.
Well, he
And
probably is a Stranger Thing guy.
well, now, look here, you better be careful. These are our viewers here. John Adams saying hello, Teddy and Mac. Hey, John, good to see you in here again tonight.
Well, good to see you in here. I'm gonna repeat Matt here tonight.
Yep. And John saying, Teddy, who would you like to see face John Cena in his last match? And I'll let you answer that first, and then I want to carry that a little bit further.
Brother, I can't answer that. I mean, Jesus Christ, Cena's worked with everybody.
Here's the problem, though, Teddy. They're doing a tournament now to find out who's going to wrestle John Cena in his final match. I'm sorry, but there's no excitement for me building up to his final match. We're just a few weeks away from his very last match. And he has said that over and over again. This is it. This is it. This is no more matches after this. Well, I want to be excited about this match, but honestly, the tournament doesn't excite me. They should have had somebody already built up where this has been going on for weeks now, leading up to that big fight feel on his last match, and I don't feel it whatsoever. What do you think?
Well, let me ask you this. Here's what I would do. Is Brock Lesnar back for good? Is he?
I don't know. He shows up and then he disappears and we never see him again.
Yeah, because my thing is this right here. This is what I would like to see. If this would happen, I doubt it, but I would like to see maybe Lesnar, maybe Cena. Just one last time he challenges Brock Lesnar. Or no. I maybe have Brock come out and not tell maybe tease Cena for a little bit, and tell him you better make sure this is your last one, because if you remember what I did to somebody, we need to go back in Brock's history a little bit and show.
We can go back to just the last time he met John Cena, the last time that Brock
but
Lesnar was there, because he wiped the mat with him the last time.
But what I'm saying, if there's any plans for Brock Lesnar, if he's going to be there for a while, then Brock's going to need somebody to work with. So what I'm saying is, why wouldn't you do something where Brock comes out and cuts these promos to Cena? You want me one more time? Well, you better go back in time and remember what I did. Let's go back and find some match where he destroyed somebody. Somebody reputable. With some kind of glow. Then maybe they have it seen in Brock one last time, and that person that Brock claimed he wiped out and did all this to, that person shows up, causing interference right there. Cena gets the win.
I just want to see something more out of this. I don't know what it is.
And that more you can do.
I think at this point, too, most people are expecting that John Cena is going to win his last match for that last good feel moment of his career. I can understand that when it comes to the crowd reaction and how you leave that show. Do you want to leave it flat or do you want to leave it on a high note? But Teddy, still, He's not going to be, it's like you say, he's not going to be there after that night. And I don't think he has a problem, putting anybody over. I don't think that's the issue. I just don't think they're writing that way. I think we're going to see him walk out as a winning that match.
Like they don't even have to bring nobody in from the past, but they want to write it. You know what I mean? Just have Brock just keep out. Don't nobody want you. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody wants you. Okay, because nobody's really challenging him yet. So, bro, I tell you what, I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more. Might even do it with one hand tied behind my back.
Yep.
Shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe start something, and maybe where the people really get riled up. Now let's see what happens here. And Cena slips over.
And how about the fact that John Cena wins the Intercontinental Championship from Dominic Mysterio the other night? That was a surprise. I will say this: I'm not, and I think I've said this on the show, Teddy, and I think we may have even talked about it. But John Cena is not one of my favorite performers. Never has been. I understand there are plenty of people who love him. He's just not my taste. Like I say, everybody's got different flavors of ice cream. Some like chocolate, some like vanilla. But just John never really did it that much for me. But the other night, the match that he had, and he does have great matches from time to time, but this is one of them. Dominic Mysterio and John Cena, man, little did we think John Cena would win a championship just weeks before he's about to leave WWE forever. So that was a nice surprise. I like the way that it was booked. I kind of wonder why we had to get, we're in Boston and we're making John be such a big hero in his hometown. I love that. I'm just not sure why Triple H had to be in the ring during the entire thing. This is not about Triple H. This is about John Cena. And that's just my personal opinion. It just seemed a little bit kind of out of whack for me to see that. And I like that laugh. Let's see. Pretty classy lady. Good to see you in here. She says, Teddy, were you on SmackDown when it was still pre-taped? How is it being on a taped show versus a live show? That's a good question for people who don't know, Teddy. What is the difference between a taped show and a live show, besides the obvious?
There's really no difference in it. When you're doing it, it's live. They're taping it. You know what I mean? So what they mean by being a tape show is something that's going to be aired later. That's the only reason it's taped. But it was the same thing to me. It didn't bother me whether it was taped or live.
From a creative standpoint, probably like Vince McMahon, I think you've mentioned this before, that if you're taped, you still have the opportunity to go back out there and redo that match again so that you can get a better take on it. That's really the only difference between the two. Now, the setup is a lot different. I mean, if you're a fan, you go to a house show, you'll notice there's not near as many lights and screens like you see on the TV shows. But other than that, there really is no difference.
No.
Were there guys, Teddy, back in the territory days when you worked with the NWA and WCW, when they would do house shows, would the guys lay back a little bit because they're house shows, they're not, live performances for pay-per-view? Was there?
Well,
some guys I know won't change.
You might have did that in WCW. You didn't do that with Vince. You worked just as hard on a live event as you did on a live TV show. Okay, you worked just as hard for 1,500 people as you would work for 15,000.
Yeah, man.
Did you remember what happened during COVID and Taker had to work with those guys, then didn't have no audience?
Yep.
You see, but he still performed. Okay, just like it was an audience there, and that's how you have to. When you work for Vince, that's what you do.
Yeah, and on the independents too, brother. Let me tell you, you might have 200-300 people on there, and you might have 3 or 4 people in there. You never know. And no matter what, you still have to perform the best of your ability, or you should. My thinking always was I was rolling tape, or I was having somebody watch it, because I wanted to see how I was performing. So even if there was no one there, it didn't matter. I could still perform to what I perceived to be a huge audience there so that it would relate to that onto the camera when I went back to watch it, because I wanted to see how I was doing performing wise. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. Let's see.
That's the best thing to do is watch yourself, like cut promos and stuff to yourself and then look back at them.
Oh yeah, I'd never understood why guys didn't do that more often. Nathan Banks saying hello. Oh, hey Nathan, good to see you in here.
I'll let you, Nathan.
John Adams saying, "What do you think of the way they are using Randy Orton?" John, I'm going to be honest. I can't remember the last time I've seen Randy. What's he involved with right now? I mean, maybe that's his point.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either.
No, he's been he's kind of been MIA for the best of my knowledge. Now, maybe he's on a show I'm not watching, and that's why I'm always afraid to say that he's not there. But if he is, I'm not exactly sure what's happening with him. Let's see what else we got here. Man, we got a lot of them coming in tonight. Appreciate that too. By the way, guys, if you want to be on the show, all you have to do is leave us a comment like everybody else. We'll throw it up on the screen and you're a part of the show. There's no super stickers, anything like that. It's absolutely free. Let's see. What up, Mick? What up, Ted? Mick? It's Mac, but I appreciate that, Pee Wee. He's saying, "What's up, Teddy?"
Yeah, I see my man Pee Wee right there. That last name is Valdovinos or something like that. Pee Wee Valdovinos. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's Valdovinos. Yeah, something like that. It's funny how you say that. Kind of funny when you say the name too. Pretty classy lady. Triple H is an egomaniac. Nobody in that arena was there to see him. He should have let John Cena have his moment in his hometown. Pretty classy lady. I can't argue that for a second. Also, Pee-wee saying, "What up, Tell? Now your name's Tell." John, I don't know what some of you guys do while you're watching the show. John Adams, because now that he has won the title, I'm thinking it is going to be something to do with the IC title. So I may think it's going to be Ray, and then Ray faces his son. Would Ray and John Cena excite you as John Cena's final match, Teddy?
No.
Yeah, I like the story idea. If anything, I'd like to see Ray and John Cena in a rematch, just based on the other night's performance of what they gave us. And that was total. I mean, look here. The first hour of Raw the other night was nonstop John Cena. It was John Cena in a match, John Cena cutting a promo. It was, I thought it was a well done hour, which is not something we've been getting a lot of from WWE lately. Let's see. We also have a pretty classy lady. Make sure I got the right one here. I just saw that Randy Orton came back from a big family vacation for his anniversary. He's not worried about WWE right now. You're right.
I don't blame you.
That. Yeah. No,
they ain't worried about him either.
Yeah, Joey77 saying, "Hey, Teddy and Mac. Hey, guys. Good to have you in here."
What it is, Joey77.
Now, look here. Again, if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is drop us a line, and we'll throw it up on the screen. Any comments, and good or bad, it could be, good comments, bad comments. Teddy doesn't care. He'll answer anything that comes his way. But in the meantime, it does mean that it's just about that time, actually past time, for us to be going to the mailbag.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
Is your favorite part of the show there, Teddy. All right.
No, it is not.
Our first question is Sinclair in Kentucky, who writes, "What is your honest opinion?" And he's highlighting honest. I promise you, Teddy always gives his honest opinion, even sometimes when he shouldn't. But here it is. What is your honest opinion on today's wrestling?
Well, I don't really get into it as much as I used to. I still watch it because when I was, do the podcast and stuff, I need to be able to talk about different things. I don't know really what to say. I think there needs to be a lot of changes, I think. I think we need to see a lot of new faces, people maybe that we haven't seen before, or people that maybe we've seen before, but maybe we'd like to see them again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think right now it's just gotten so big till it's just gone now, man. And I don't see any
I
changes coming soon. I mean, maybe, but I just don't know.
Yeah, for wrestling fans, especially Teddy's age, my age, and even those in their 40s and 30s, it's changed quite a bit in the last ever since COVID. A lot of things have changed, and it seems like even the process of how we consumed wrestling and the stars and how long they last, the shelf life, it seems to me, of a lot of stars just kind of come and go now. Whereas years ago, those names stuck around 10, 20 years. You don't see that as much anymore. And the names aren't as big as they once were. But I think that has a lot to do with the fact that we don't get the storylines that we once did. And I'm not trying to make excuses for WWE, but when you have 4 or 5 different specials that are going to show up on Netflix, and you've got to have a story for each one, and you're trying to get through to that thing, storylines are going to get lost. And that's what's happened, I believe. The storylines are getting lost, and people's need to see what's on TV is no longer there. Teddy, you said this just a minute ago. If you weren't doing this when because it's part of what your job is, if it wasn't part of your job, would you watch it?
No.
Yeah. See, and that's the honest opinion. I think a lot of people feel that way. I watch it because I do it for a living. But
And
if I had to go back and I had a choice between watching wrestling or watching, Breaking Bad or one of these shows on Netflix, I'm
but
going to
it's
watch
not. I
something
wouldn't
else.
watch. It's not so bad as me not watching it. For as what's being on. What they're putting out there. I have my own personal reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll leave it at that.
I got you. All right. Let's see. John Adams saying, when you were a referee, what was your favorite match or was excited to do as a referee?
Golly, I had a lot of matches when I was refereeing because I was basically the only referee. So basically, a lot of them were really great. I always enjoyed working with the Midnight Express with Bobby and Stan, and loved working with the Horsemen because see, when you worked with those guys, you had to work. They didn't play around out there. So and then you learn from them because you're in there with the best. I think I had my most exciting one was when I ran Chi-Town Heat, Chicago. I went down and did the 3 count on the Steamboat and Flair match, so that was a big highlight for me.
I saw Steamboat on the latest AEW Dynamite just last night. They were in North
Okay.
Carolina, and he is 71 years old and can still perform in the ring. Damn,
Oh
Teddy,
yeah.
brother. I mean, and he just, this guy doesn't really seem to age. He's
Yeah,
always got that look. The women are always going to go crazy for him.
and like I told you before, him and Terry Funk, God rest his soul, those were the 2 guys that I always would call on Christmas and wish them both a Merry Christmas. And they would also, sometimes they'd beat me to the punch. But those guys didn't have to do that. That's why I tell you, I always pay attention to what people don't have to do. But so if they did it, look at me. I better be glad I'm doing it. So,
Oh yeah.
but those were the 2 guys that I always remembered, and they remembered me. And Steamboat, right today, when I see him, we talk, and and he's just a nice guy to be around.
He is. He's one of those, you hear a lot of today about Sting, and Sting being one of the nicest guys that was in wrestling. Ricky Steamboat was the same way. He was one of
Yes,
those just goody. I mean, he wasn't a white meat baby face, in professional wrestling. That was him. That's who
yeah,
he is.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
so well is playing that role too.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, he was a great guy. I loved him, man. Me and him, we just was always good.
Reggie B. Fine. I know we're going over a little bit here, guys.
Oh
We'll
well,
say that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Reggie B. He says, "What's up, Teddy, Mac, and Iceman? Watching your podcast right now. We would love to come on there one day. We would love to have you. All you got to do is give your information to Mac and let Mac know how to get in touch with you, Reggie. Yeah, definitely, man. You and especially Iceman. Please tell him that we said hello here,
And now
man.
look here, that sounded kind of bad, especially Iceman. Like, you're okay, Reggie, but we rather have Iceman. That's what it just sounded like.
It didn't sound like that. You always See now, you're not Reggie. You see what I'm going now. Now I understand why you took me back to Bill Dundee that day. Okay.
Oh God. Let's see. Here's a good one here. What was your favorite superstar to manage? John asking that.
Man, everybody was my favorite because I got along with everybody. You know, I enjoyed everybody that I managed and I worked with. Butch and Ron, I think, were really the greatest. You know, especially with Butch because he would always, get on me about something. It was just always something with me and Butch, but it always turned out to be comical too, though. You know, we'd laugh about it, but. Butch and Ron were really good. I love that Danny and Spivey and Sid. They were great to work with. Jesus, man. Like I said, everybody that I managed was good. Mark Henry, Rodney Mack, Jazz, everybody.
Is there a sweet spot for you? I think I've asked you this, and I don't know that I've ever gotten a straight answer or not, because I don't know if maybe it's just that it's hard to answer, but is there a sweet spot for you of your career where you're like, if I could go back and I could live just this 5-year period, what 5-year period would you have picked? Would you have gone back to the NWA, the WCW, WWE, and not because of money or anything else, but simply because you loved that particular time and you had a blast doing your job?
I'd love to go back to the NWA.
Yeah. That's where it all started. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going back to where it began, where you learned the actual craft of professional wrestling and what you had, looking out for you in the rest of your life. Did you ever think at that point that you would make a lifetime career out of professional wrestling?
No.
No.
No. I got, but when I got the job putting up the ring, taking the ring down, I thought that was the greatest thing of my life because I didn't even think I was going to make it to that far.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So when I got
much
that,
less be a Hall of Famer.
yeah, so when I got the putting up that ring, man, God, I thought I was in heaven.
Joey77 saying, do you watch AEW, Mac and Teddy? I do occasionally. Teddy does not.
No, I do. I don't have no love for them. They don't have no love for me, and I don't have no love for them.
I want to tell you something. I don't know how this is going to come across because people may be surprised when I say this, but AEW's show they had on Dynamite this past Wednesday, just last night, they had cage matches, and it was a women's cage match that started the show. Damn, these girls were getting it. I saw them do things that I never thought I would see a female performer get away with on TV. Now, I think there's been a lot of blowback because there was a lot of blood in that match too. This is a women's cage match, but I got to tell you, Teddy, it caught my eye, and anybody who was watching TV, flipping around, maybe trying to find something to watch, if they landed on that, I promise you they stopped and watched at least 5-10 minutes of it.
Yeah. So like I said, I got I don't have a problem with talent. I have a problem with management. They sent me a message to let me know they weren't interested in me. So why would I watch them?
Yep. I've got to get a few more in here before we close out here. Joey77 saying the characters in wrestling were so much better back in the day. That I agree with as well.
Yeah.
I think because they were built better. You understood who they were, and you kind of, you knew their background without having to be told over and over again.
Let's go back. We got Joe Hamilton there. My man, Nick Lico Beak. He just had a birthday, too. So we got to say late happy birthday to Nick Patrick.
Now, what's funny is Nick, he was doing his mailbag the other day, and I had to pop in on his show. And I just left him a message real fast. I said, hey, Nick, that cream you asked about is on its way. It should be there in a couple of days, and it should clear that rash right up. Thanks, Mac. And of course, the host of the show reads it out loud on the air. So I had to screw with him a little bit. Nick is a great guy, man.
That's good.
Let's see. Man, we're going to get everybody in here if I can. Poor Joe making fun of Reggie. Let's see. Reggie also saying, I got a Facebook page. Hit me up on that, sir, and I'll give you all my information. Reggie Be Fine on Facebook. I will take a look at it probably tomorrow. And Pee Wee is saying, what up, Mac and Teddy? Good to see you again, Pee Wee.
Pee Wee, are you smoking anything? You have already checked in with us earlier. Now you're checking back in. That tells me you got a memory problem.
I got another message from it. You want to see what his other message is, Teddy?
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's the other one. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Wait, here's another one up here. It's the same thing.
I told you. Put it down, brother. Put it down.
All right, Teddy, we're out of time here. Actually, we're going way over, and hopefully they won't shut us off before we finish talking here. Tell me, anything coming up for you want to get over?
Let's see. No. Oh, well, yeah, right. I'm going to Buffalo, New York. I'll be there next Friday.
Go ahead.
Was that?
I was just yelling out Buffalo.
Okay. Buffalo, New York, Friday the 21st. I'll be there for a big show there, and then I'm coming back and I'm getting ready to go for a great Thanksgiving with Denise. I'm gonna have me some turkey ribs. See, y'all just gonna have turkey. I'm gonna have turkey ribs.
Turkey ribs. Okay. Now
Yes.
you're gonna have to start taking some video of this so you can prove it and bring it back to the show. Just send me the video. I'll load it up and we can.
You know what? I really thought about that because the time that I was there and I had those those steaks. I almost took a picture. I said, I need to send Mac this.
Yeah,
all right, I'll do that.
Yeah, you need to do that. All right. Before we get out of here, though, Teddy, we got to pick a winner for tonight's road trip after hours T-shirt.
Send Pee Wee a shirt.
Pee Wee, we're gonna send you a shirt, my friend. Let me get my note out here. Here we go. Pee Wee will get a shirt. Pee Wee, I'm assuming that you wear extra small.
You can't determine that on you don't know this, man.
Pee Wee could wear a 4X. We don't know.
That's right. I know he's wearing something now the way he keep on forgetting shit. I know
I don't even want to know what he's wearing right now. That could be frightening in itself there, Teddy.
Hey, don't forget about Reggie B. Fine, man. So and we hope to have him and Iceman on. That would be such a treat. I'd love to talk to Iceman, man. What a great guy. Both of these guys are great guys.
Yeah, Reggie, I will give you a shout tomorrow sometime, whether it be through text, email, or through Facebook Messenger. Somewhere you'll get something from me. You'll know it's me. And we'll set something up. By the way, Teddy, we were hoping to have Bill Apter here tonight. He was not able to make it tonight, so we're hoping that next week he'll be here. And if that's the case, we'll have Bill here. If Bill cannot make it next week, then we'll try to get Reggie to be here next week. How about that?
Well, yeah, let's see if we can get them all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get everybody on at one time. We can do 2 different shows out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just greedy.
No, I'm not greedy. I just want more content. That's it.
That's right. That's my bad.
That's all right. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you again live next week. We do it every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here on YouTube and on Facebook. It's live. And if you will, share it around and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps Teddy and I quite a bit. We're trying to grow this channel. You guys have been fantastic when it came to getting us more and more subscribers. And the only way we can continue to grow is if you share this with other people who have not seen it, and maybe they will subscribe, and we'd appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And people, Pee Wee, he just got here. It's before we close out. It is a 4X. Okay.
Jesus.
We're out of here. I'm back.
So we got to send him 2, and you got to put them together.
Yeah. God, the postage for a 4X shirt.